lowest, greatest, highest, I will come to thee.
Have you ever taken a rock and threw it into a pond? As you threw that rock in there and it went into the pond, you would notice that the water began to ripple all the way across the pond. You know, that concept is true when it comes to us. We have that kind of influence, whether we use it in a positive or negative way. Many people might not think that people are even paying attention to what they do, but I promise you, everybody is listening and they're watching you. And of course, the more important you are within a society or if you're a leader within the church, certainly your influence is even going to be greater. And so we really need to think about what we say and what we do. For example, a negative way that our influence could be used that'll end up affecting others can be seen in Galatians chapter 2, starting in verse number 11. It says, "Now when Peter had come to Antioch, I withstood him to his face, because he was to be blamed. For before certain men came from James, he would eat with the Gentiles. But when they came, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing those who were of the circumcision. And the rest of the Jews also played the hypocrite with him, so that even Barnabas was carried away with their hypocrisy. But when I saw that they were not straightforward about the truth of the gospel, I said to Peter before them all, If you, being a Jew, live in the manner of the Gentiles, and not as the Jews, why do you compel Gentiles to live as Jews?" So here we can see that Peter was being a very negative influence on those around him. He went back to his old way of thinking. Whenever his Jewish friends would come along, he would withdraw from the Gentiles, which was wrong for him to do, and he knew better because God had taught him better. In Acts chapter 10, God even went to the point of giving him a vision of a cloth coming down with all kinds of unclean animals to teach him that what God has not called unclean, don't call it unclean. And so Peter, with his negative influence, those ripples going out, it affected Barnabas, who was a great encourager, someone that was willing to take the Apostle Paul, of course before he became an apostle, and was able to take him, and after he was converted to Christianity, and was able to show the other apostles and stand beside his side to say, look, this man has truly converted to Christ. And so he was a very faithful man, a very man of great encouragement. Yet even he was influenced by what Peter did in a very negative way. And so that teaches us, that you and I, that we have to be very careful about that stone that we cast out into the pond, about the influence that we have with those that are around us. If we sin and we do negative things, we can influence people in the wrong way. They will say, well, if you can do that, then I should be able to do it as well. And so we have to be very concerned about the influence of our friends, our families, and just people we don't even know that see us doing things. However, we can also use our influence in a good way. Those ripples that are going out that touch other people's lives, we can be a positive influence on them. We can show them what it means to be a child of God. And whenever we show them how to live the Christian life and they see that we do the right thing, even though everybody else might be saying do something different, then we're going to be a positive influence. And so I hope that every Christian out there will always do their best to really think about what they're doing and to make sure that they are being a positive influence instead of a negative one.